Have you ever been to a store that just shouldn't exist because they never have any customers? No matter how many times you've been to it, it's always empty. Well, today we're checking out stores that shouldn't exist. One store that really shouldn't exist, in my opinion, is like Macy's. Have you ever been to a mall? And nowadays, the only thing open in most malls are the Macy's. And yet, I never see people in Macy's. Even on thriving malls, the Macy's or the Dillard's or whatever the ending store is, it's always empty. I couldn't tell you why. A lot of people hate that malls are gone. And yeah, I do. I kind of do too. But malls did it to themselves. 50% of the stores nobody would go to. I hate ordering online. If I could go to a place and find a shop where I need exactly what I want, I would totally get it. Because ordering online is genuinely, in my opinion, what kind of ruined humanity. Because there were so many stores back in the day, you could just go and get what you want. But now everything's, oh, order online, only online exclusive. It's like, bro, I just can't.
Complicated relationship with consumerism and capitalism. Like, we've built entire cities around shopping malls. We put Bed Bath & Beyond coupons in a kitchen drawer.
Yeah, Bed Bath & Beyond, I don't even know what it was. What's the Beyond? From what I understand, the Beyond is like a magic remote that could pause reality. But that's just me.
And never touched them for 6 years. We let Spirit Halloween squat inside dead.
Yes, what's going on with Spirit Halloween? Has to be a pyramid scheme. It has to be. I never see people in said Spirit Halloweens, and yet they could somehow go into all of these different like stores and open places all over America. I'm sure they get a lot of business, but it can't be that much.
Storefronts for 2 months. Why do we even subject ourselves to walking into some of the worst stores of all time? I genuinely don't understand how some of these places are still open, not in like a deep philosophical way.
Like a Lids. I'm not gonna lie, right? This is my point about like why malls failed. Malls failed because they put stores that would never make any sense, right? A Lids, for example. Why am I going into a hat store with hats that all look the same? Every single hat at a Lids looks the exact same.
Just like, who's still going? Who's looked at Five Below and thought, yeah, this is great. Who's keeping?
Yeah, Five Below. Five Below, literally everything in Five Below is just genuinely pointless. It will fall apart in about 5 seconds. I'm sure you could find some good finds there, but still.
Party City alive? I need to know. So today we're going through the worst stores to shop at.
Party City. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I've never even been into a Party City. It just, they don't even have like anything that I would need. Because even if I was planning a party, I'm not going to Party City to get them. I go to Walmart.
We're not just gonna be like talking about the vibes, but actually bad, like overpriced, misleading, structurally confusing, or straight up unpleasant to exist.
Toys R Us. Everyone was mad about the Toys R Us collapse. And I'm like, why? I hear they're coming back too. Again, why? They were always way overpriced.
Inside of for more than 4 minutes. Starting off, we've got Five Below. We're starting here because I feel personally wronged by this store and I've been sitting on it. Their entire pitch, the only reason this—
Wait, do they actually have things that are not 5, that are above 5? Because I've only been into one once. I'm not gonna lie. And the time I did, I bought a couple things and they all broke in about 5 seconds.
place exists is in the name. Things cost $5 or—
Well, it's like Dollar General. And heck, Dollar Tree does it better. Everything at Dollar Tree is like, I've never even seen an item more than $10 at Dollar Tree. But Dollar General, in the name, it's like dollar, right? You would assume everything's near a dollar. But no, it's like your typical, just like CVS prices or Walgreens prices. And I'm just like, then what's the point? Why not call it General? No, I'm kidding. That was a bad joke. I'm sorry.
Below. That's the deal. You walk in expecting this cheap stuff and you walk out with cheap stuff. Very simple agreement between a store.
In the South, by the way, right? I used to live in the South. And I live in Florida. For some reason in my mind, I just don't consider that the South because it is extremely different. But in the like Georgia, Alabama, heck, like West Virginia, all of those places, you drive 10 minutes, you're gonna find about four Dollar General all in a row.
store and a customer. Except at some point they added a section called Five Beyond, which is not $5, it's 10, 15, sometimes 20, and it's
Yeah,
not.
that's kind of crazy. That really is kind of crazy. How could you be Five Below and then have Five Beyond? That should be another store. That should be a franchise store.
Not like in a different part of the store or color coded. It just kind of sits between the same shelves next to the $3 slime kits and the off-brand earbuds. A small sign that says,
Bro, buying headphones from Five Below, that might be rough. Not gonna lie. I'm always scared at places like that to get things like I'm gonna use a lot, like headphones, for example. Because have you ever had a headphone break and it just goes, "Ah," and just starts screaming in your ear? Genuinely, I have had hearing loss because of bad headphones over my time. And it's kind of my fault because I used to turn it all the way up. So when your headphones did crash out, it was kind of cooked. But ever since that happens to you, you gotta make sure those headphones aren't gonna do that because it is cooked. It will literally ruin your hearing.
Beyond, like that explains anything. So I bought a Bluetooth speaker thinking that it was $5. It was 14. I felt like an idiot at the register. The cashier did
$14 speaker. I wonder how that sounds. I don't know. I don't really use speakers, but it just doesn't sound like it's going to be very good. Who knows though? Like maybe these like $14 speakers and whatever are just as good as a JBL. And since nobody buys them because they're scared of the sound quality, nobody would technically know.
didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. I just paid it and left. And that's on me for not checking the tag. I just hate it so much. The stuff that is actually $5 is a real gamble. Sometimes you'll get something that's decent and you feel great about it. Like I bought like a phone stand one time and I still have it. It's totally fine. But I also
Yeah, that is the place to get like very like those. You know what I never understood? I'm sorry, my mind just kind of went off tangent. But basically, those plates are really good to get like phone accessories like phone cases. But one phone accessory I never really understood was the little spinny thing, like the fan. You plug it into your phone and it's a tiny fan. The fan never blew hard enough to actually be wind. So, and I think it was supposed to help your phone like for cooling or whatever. But still, was there any actual purpose? Did they ever actually work? I don't know. Let me know.
bought a charger cable that stopped working before I
Yes, never buy phone cables. I tell everyone this. Never buy bad phone cables. First off, it could ruin the grippers in your like phone. It could really ruin the connector. And second off, it could just break off inside your phone and now you have to use tweezers to get it out. And third, it's just gonna stop working after like 20 days.
got home. It did not survive the car ride. Didn't even make it to my house. The store is also always
Oh, and it will also charge your phone in about 7 hours.
have at least one section that looks like it got hit by a tornado. It's always the half-empty shelves and you have the products in the wrong bins. One shoe on the floor that doesn't
And that's just going to a Walmart. Like, you go to Walmart and genuinely there will be ground beef laying in the middle of like the soda aisle.
seem to belong to any pair nearby. I think this just has to do with the type of clientele that Five Below attracts. 13-year-olds coming from low-income households that love demolishing stores for some reason. Forget China. I'm pretty sure Five Below is where COVID started. Like, it was probably some toddler chew.
Yeah, there's some diabolical things going at places like Below, Dollar General, Dollar Tree. If you ever been inside one of those, especially in a real rough area, you're scared. Like, you might need a tetanus shot after. I've been into some that is like, I'm scared to touch the shelf or I might catch something.
Doing on some random thing, and they got like a weird sickness from it, and it spread across the.
But when you're looking for Pokemon packs, you have been to some wild places. I have checked every Dollar General in about like 50 to an hour away, especially when I was up in West Virginia for a while. And the reason I bring that up because there's a Dollar General every 5 seconds. So we checked like 30 Dollar Generals in a day. And in the middle of West Virginia, you'll see some things.
country. So I don't hate this store, but I don't fully trust it either. Moving on, we've got GameStop. Now,
In all fairness, though, West Virginia is a terrifying place. If you're from them, like, cool. Like, West Virginia, I have no beef with the people of West Virginia. But when you're there, it is kind of scary. It really is. The roads are not paved. Some of them are like brick roads. Yeah, and that's why I went to college. The reason why is because I went to college there for a year on like a scholarship thing, and I came back as quick as possible. The scholarship was not worth it, dudes.
GameStop has been dying for something like 8 years, and it refuses to actually die, which is kind of impressive in a depressing way.
Yeah, even the one near my house at GameStop, they stopped selling games. Fun fact, and you know, a lot of like PlayStation, for example, they're taking away the disc version of all games, which kind of sucky because now you're not going to own any physical copy, and they could just take away your profile whenever they want. But nowadays, GameStop is just stopped because all they have is a bunch of kind of just TCG. They're basically a card shop these days. Not even a good one because they get packed.
This company only exists at this point because it was like memed back into existence by the pump, and
that is true, right? The people that like did the stock thing on it, they really saved it.
Dumping stock market thing with the help of Reddit. So I'm not sure what they exist for now. Like I was there last month because I wanted a physical copy of something I used to play when I was a kid, thinking that maybe they still have games there, but I was wrong. They have 3
Yeah, like I said, they're just stopped and a bunch of Funko Pops.
Employees on shift. One of the guys is helping someone, like explaining why the value of their $10,000 Pokemon card is $4. One of them is stocking shelves in the back.
Yeah, that's crazy work.
And there's like a third guy who's trying to help people get signed up for their GameStop monthly subscription. I told him I wasn't interested, and this guy told me about it anyway for like 90 seconds. There's a point system with discounts.
They're always yapping about their monthly subscription. That's part of the reason I do not go to GameStop. Because they will spend about an hour explaining it to you. Just let me buy the item, please. I'll pay the extra $5. Please.
And trade up bonuses, but it's 2026. I can't think of any reason I would actually go back to GameStop after this moment. That's like the whole GameStop experience, by the way. Like the prices are also generally difficult to understand. Used games that you can get on Steam.
Yeah, they have Pokemon mystery packs that give you a graded card. And if you have seen them, they are all overpriced. All their graded cards are normally bad. And they give you two packs. That's it, for $150.
For $1 or $2 are sitting behind their glass case for $25. I don't know who's making these pricing decisions, because the people who still shop at GameStop are exactly the kind of people who already know how bad the prices are and will tell you immediately.
Yeah, the people that do shop at GameStop are the only ones I know are card collectors, because they get the drops quickly. But honestly, don't even go to GameStop. They actually overprice. They do. I have seen it where they have put Pokemon cards for more than retail. Go to Best Buy.
It's funny because the game I was trying to buy was actually being traded in by, like, I think the only other person there. It's Red Dead Redemption 2 for the Xbox 360.
I would get a job at a GameStop, though. It would be so calm. Literally, you have to sit there for an hour. Actually, that could get really boring really quickly. Not gonna lie.
So if you think about it, I could have just removed GameStop and paid this guy in cash, right? He gets a good deal, I get a good deal. GameStop doesn't touch anybody in their...
You know what I never understood? Why they started, like, taking and trading phones? Because I've never seen a phone at GameStop. And yet they buy phones. Why?
Butthole, except that's exactly what they did. Now, it would have been weird for me to, like, stop the guy in the middle of his transaction and say, hey, like, can I buy that off you? Because I just feel like we get in trouble or something. I don't know, trespass from GameStop, which...
Red Dead Redemption, trying to sell it at GameStop? That one of my biggest regrets of all time is selling my Xbox 360 to GameStop, like, years and years and years ago. Well, not that many years ago. I'm only 21. But still, like, it was right when probably the PlayStation 4 came out. So I was like 11, 12. I wanted a couple games for my PlayStation. I regret it so badly because I sold college football like 2014. And if you didn't know, that game's like $100 now.
It's not even a bad thing, but you know, you don't want the cops involved. But yeah, this guy got like, what, 10 or 20 bucks for the game that I ended up paying 34 or 25 for. I don't know. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, old consoles in general. Also, like the Fight Night games, those were some of the best ones. And why can they make some games available for like the PlayStation 5, but not others? Like, you know how that you could play old games on the PlayStation 5 with like the PlayStation 5 Pass nowadays? But why can't you do it with other games? I don't know why.
Much watch them pocket money for doing nothing. And it's not even like the poor.
And Skylanders, right? I wish I never sold my Skylanders. The biggest regret of my life.
Employees that are getting paid minimum wage get a cut of this. It's all going back to the corporate overlords. But honestly, the pivot to them selling like Funko Pops and Pokemon cards says a lot. Like, they really know they're not a game store anymore.
Yeah, I think that actually saved their company, though. It probably did, because the Funko market is huge. But I feel like the Funko Pop collectors are not going to GameStop to get the Funko Pops, right? Because it's always going to be the rare ones.
They're just kind of a hobby shop that's used to sell games, which is fine, but I guess it's just sad to watch what happens over the course of several years in real time. Like, I'm sure if you've had a GameStop in your hometown, it probably closed up and like something came in place of it, which is very sad, because I will be honest with you guys, I feel like GameStop.
Yeah, I do miss GameStop, but I also do think GameStop was one of the biggest scams of all time, and they were just exploiting people before the internet. Because, like, you couldn't really order games on the internet. But nowadays, you can. And go to Best Buy, like I said.
GameStop could have and should have been a spot for nerds to meet. Kind of like Starbucks for Steam users, but... yeah.
Oh, I definitely think it still is. If I go into my local GameStop and there's like 4 people there, it is like nerds meeting. But yeah, actually, they should have done it like Starbucks. That would have been a mad shout. If they had like trade tables and all that jazz, if they just would have shifted to like the card collecting and just collecting audience in general way earlier, they probably would have done pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know. The money wasn't there. Sad. Moving on, we've got Bath and Body Works. Now, I have to be careful here because there's a lot of people who...
I know people that love Bath and Body Works, and yet I don't understand it. Could not tell you. But I do think they have still like a lot of peak customers. But they always have sales. It's like 2 by 3. But my gosh, Old Spice or any of the things you could get off the shelf in like Walmart, for example, you're going to get way better products that smell better, work better, and yet aren't the $13 to $15 per one bottle? Bath and Body Works is a huge scam.
Genuinely love this place, and you got people who treat it like whenever there's a sale, it's a national holiday. These girls know the candle names by heart, and I'm not trying to fight these people, so close your ears if you're one of them, but the pricing is designed to feel like a
Winter Candy Spice Apple or something is one of the most glazed products of all of history. If you talk to someone that goes to Bath and Body Works, they treat like Winter Candy Apple or whatever it is like it is something special. That's something to break out when it's the best day of your life, right? They put this up because they will get like 30 bottles at a time, but the Winter Candy Apple is genuinely like special occasions, birthday, Thanksgiving.
Deal without actually being one. So do not ever go here if you are with a girl, because a candle is somewhere around 20 something dollars normally, but if you buy 10, it drops to like 8 or 9.
Oh yeah, it will be like you buy 12 soap products and they're all at $13 a pop, but when you buy 12, you get them at regular prices. What a deal.
9 each. So the optimal move is to always buy in bulk, which means you're never just buying one candle, you're buying 10 candles.
Yeah, you're spending $200 and then you got a deal, but you were only gonna buy 3 candles or 3 bottles of soap.
Then some lotion, which is sitting on the table near the entrance, then like a wallflower because like, you know, it was on sale. So you've spent like $160 on things that smell nice. Girls love this shit. Girls will defend Bath and Body Works like it's their religion, but
very true. And they all buy the like hand soap. Guess how much that hand soap is? That hand soap is like $3 for this much, right? For an ounce. For something that would cost you 50 cents anywhere else.
It's not really a good deal. Like you have to buy in bulk, so you
And it's probably more than that. I don't know. Knowing Bath and Body Works, it's probably like $7.
think you're getting a discount, but you wouldn't have bought in bulk if you weren't getting a discount. So it's kind of like not really a discount. Either you get what I'm saying or you don't. The scent situation when you walk in is also a lot to process. Your brain sort of pauses for a second.
Oh yeah, it sends you. It literally sends you into a crisis, especially if you get migraines. Every time I go into a Bath and Body Works, it makes my brain overload to the point it just activates a migraine, because I get migraines pretty avidly. But if you take medicine, it's fine. But like, headache medicine, like you just your basic Excedrin will work. But what I'm saying is, sorry, I went off a tangent. But it gives me a migraine almost instantly, and I couldn't tell you why. It's like it almost super activates this migraine.
It calibrates, and I personally can't walk past the store in the mall without coughing. Some of the stuff does smell nice, other stuff
It's like Perfume Mania, which is actually one of the few places that gives really good deals. If you need cologne, especially if you buy like nice cologne, go to Perfume Mania. You'll get like buy one get one 50% off, which is actually kind of a good deal, especially for like $100 cologne. And cologne you'll have for like 3-4 years.
Smells wrong. I don't know. I respect the business model, but I feel like it's just not for people who like money or like saving money. It's for girls that want to do impulse.
That is very true. For people that like money or heck, just want to buy multiple items, not a place for you.
Purchases because of their
or things useful. But if you want to hold on to 15 bottles of soap for 2 years, actually, no, I don't know how long Bath and Body Works lasts. Just buy the big thing of Old Spice. It lasts me like 3 months.
like sinuses being stimulated. All right, moving on, we've got Spirit Halloween. Now, Spirit Halloween exists for maybe 8 weeks a year and somehow still manages to be one of the more frustrating shopping.
Yeah, again, I genuinely think it's a pyramid scheme or something's going on with Spirit Halloween. Because how do they get everywhere? Everywhere, every state, every big market? Like, I don't know, the open malls, what are those called? Now I'm forgetting. But you know what I mean, where outlet malls, yes.
Experiences of the whole year. Every Spirit Halloween is inside a building that used to be something else, like a Pier 1, a Bed Bath & Beyond, a Toys R Us. The ghosts of the previous tenant is always there, like the old shelving units that don't quite fit the new inventory or the layout.
Sometimes they make it really nice, though. I'm not gonna lie. What they do in Spirit Halloween is kind of impressive. How they get this all up and almost, it feels like overnight.
That made sense for a furniture store, but not for a Halloween pop-up. That like faint lingering smell of whatever used to live there. The costumes are way more expensive than they look. Like, why am I buying a $90 Halloween costume that is a thin piece of fabric? I could just...
Oh yeah, and like, like the accessories? They're crazy to me. Why am I gonna spend $15 for a toy I am gonna use for one night? Like the axe, for example.
Just throw on a little white
axe.
bed sheet over my head and try to be a ghost, call it at that point.
And it's not even good material, it's foam.
I just don't like it. Like a costume made of very thin material packed in a plastic bag that will not survive more than
Yeah, you could get better ones off Amazon.
one wear. And if it has a licensing fee and isn't just some generic costume, then you're really...
But speaking of Halloween, you know what I don't like? I don't like the people that are like, oh, well, homemade costumes are the better ones. My gosh, I do not have the time, creativity, or heck, energy to invest into a creative, create your own outfit. I don't care if I say a couple dollars when I could just get a pre-made one.
Fucked. Anything that's like Nintendo or DC or Marvel is gonna be at least double what it should be. I do like the vibe of Spirit Halloween. Like, I think...
And they shame you for it. That's the problem, is they will literally shame you. Like, oh, those aren't homemade. Do you care? Do you have any care in your costume? No, it's Halloween. It's not that deep, bro.
It's just because I like Halloween in general. And the stores are cute. Like, every store has at least 3 motion sensor animatronics, like, placed specifically in walking paths, just to, like, scare people or give grandmas heart attacks.
Not even to scare people. I feel like just for inconvenience, because these things will move, and I about knock it over because it will move and almost hit me. And when it does, I'm gonna move into it.
So it's like the potential's there. They just need to not be robbing everyone who walks in. It's weird because people have been saying like every year that Spirit Halloween is gonna collapse, but every year it comes back. Like it's surviving.
And I feel like every year it has more stores. It has to. Because 3 years ago, I didn't know where one was. Last Halloween, I saw like 7 within driving distance of each other, like on the same road almost.
The retail apocalypse by squatting inside dead storefronts for 8 weeks and then vanishing. Like, it makes sense. I guess I get it. Like, if you show up even close to Halloween, there's nothing left in that store. Like, people really.
In all fairness, actually, now that I think about it, it probably isn't a pyramid scheme. You probably do make a lot of money from it because you're not having operating costs all throughout the year. So if a bunch of people come up and just spend a lot of money, buy decorations. I also don't understand decorations because why am I going to have something up for only a couple days a year and spend like $500 on it? I get you have it forever, but still, it seems like a lot of work.
Do clean them out. Like, the logistics involved in this store are pretty impressive. This store is honestly not that bad, just lower their prices. This next one is just Spirit Halloween, but 10 times worse, and I'm pretty sure most of these have gone out of business by now, but we're talking about Party City. This one has all of.
Okay, Party City, I've never understood. What are they selling? Balloons, tablecloths, and some like poppers? That's it?
The inflated costs that Spirit Halloween has, but without any of the pizzazz. I cannot remember a single time I left feeling like something went smoothly. Like, something's always off. Like, I don't understand how anyone can spend more than $20 a year at Party City. It does not make sense.
Well, again, I just don't even know why you're going to Party City, because you could get everything you want from pretty much any retail store. Walmart, Target, other retail stores I can't think of right now.
Everything that it makes sense for Party City to sell, Spirit Halloween does better. And then for the rest of the stuff they sell, there's always some other store that does it better, like napkins or balloons or whatever. These are all things you can get at like a general convenience store.
Yeah, and their balloons don't ever seem creative. Like I said, I don't even think I've been into a Party City, but I've definitely seen balloons like going to parties growing up, and they're like, oh yeah, we went to Party City, and the balloons weren't even that good.
Or like a Target. And Party City knows this. Like, they've been closing locations. There was a bankruptcy filing at some point, I think.
I feel like it was a bound failure business, right? It might be a novelty when it first comes out, but honestly, it was never gonna work. Sorry guys, it really wasn't. And Toys R Us definitely was never going to work once iPads came out.
The whole trajectory is just sad and also incredibly predictable, and I don't know why they haven't figured out a way to actually compete. Like, maybe they should start a subscription service and start selling Pokemon cards like GameStop.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. Just get into Pokemon cards, get into cards in general, and you might save your company.
Listen, I still shop at some of these places occasionally, but a lot of these stores are just dying, and it's sad to see. It's like a wilted flower. I guess just retail is in.
I don't believe I don't believe Spirit Halloween's dying. I truly believe for somehow, some way, they're gonna have twice as many stores next year.
A generally rough place right now. Like, half these stores feel like they're running on pure inertia. No one's really made a decision.
Like a Macy's or a Dillard's. Every single time you'll go into one, it will be dead empty. And they never go out of business. They might warn about it, like, we're going out of business. And yet, no, still there.
Decision about the direction of these stores in years, and they're just open today because they were open yesterday. But yeah, if you think a store should be next on the list, drop it below. I'm curious what you guys have got. Follow me on Spotify, leave a like.
Yeah, if you guys enjoyed, the original video will be in link down below, so go check that out. But if you guys enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe and a suggestion on what you might want me to react to, talk about, whatever. I'll see you next time. Bye.